Hey everybody, so myself and Deborah are just back in Kampala now, having spent the week with World Vision in the community in eastern Uganda. And I'd first of all like to thank those of you who have given very generously to our fundraiser. We've really seen firsthand over the past week the difference that your contributions make, and we'd just like to say a huge thank you. While we're in Busia, Deborah and I got to visit Junior, a little boy there that I've been sponsoring for over 10 years. And when I started sponsoring Junior, I was actually starting my business at the time and I was living off what I told a bank was a car loan. So it's been amazing now to get to see how that money has been spent over the years by World Vision, the impact it's had in the community, and really how its effect has really multiplied. Because World Vision, when you sponsor one child, they try to make sure that that actually helps to benefit 4 children in the community. While visiting Junior, we also got to see firsthand how the structures that World Vision put in place help to ensure that when they support communities, the communities don't get dependent on the support that they get, and they actually become independent within 12 to 15 years so they can be self-sustaining. How they do this is by establishing clusters of homes in a locality that will work together for the betterment of the overall community. And those clusters will have 10 to 15 homes, and if any of those would have had land originally, that land will get brought in and be farmed by them all as a cluster. And they'll all work together to achieve outcomes that benefit everybody. From within those clusters, World Vision recruit leaders or trainers of trainers that are going to train other people within the community. And they're responsible for areas such as literacy, hygiene, sanitation, and child protection. And World Vision will take those leaders and they will train them, and they then go into the community and help to build what's needed to make that community stand on its own 2 feet. The people within the community then work together to ensure that each house has some basic facilities. And these include a covered pit toilet, some basic hand washing facilities called a tippy tap, a rubbish pit, a kitchen garden, and a fuel efficient stove. In a World Vision home cluster, there's an aim for every home to have an energy efficient stove just like this. So traditionally how they would cook is they would just use 3 stones to balance a pot, and then they would have a timber fire underneath that, but most of the heat from the fire was actually just going into the atmosphere around it. With an energy efficient stove like this one, the heat is all kept right inside the clay oven itself, and then that can be used then to heat multiple pots and to cook their food. It also helps to avoid overcooking, overheating, and the loss of nutrients as a result of that as well. But key to this stove as well is that it has a chimney so that the smoke is actually leaving this room. So this helps to avoid eye and lung damage to the mothers that are in here cooking. But also it helps to reduce the amount of timber that they burn by about 50%. So this reduces the amount of time that the families have to spend foraging for timber, but it also helps to reduce the destruction of the local forests, which nurture the biodiversity that they rely upon for their food here as well. So these projects are delivered through an education process from World Vision that empowers the community, and that enables them to build these themselves from raw materials that they can gather locally. And then all the households help each other. So they'll build one for one household, and then within the cluster they'll move through and they'll all help each other to build each other's energy efficient stoves and their covered kitchens. So after we visited Junior's home, we got to visit his school where we dropped off some supplies and where we got to meet his best friend, who's also called Junior. Again, we'd like to thank all of you who've contributed to our fundraiser so far, and we'd like to ask everyone else to please consider giving to this very worthy cause. Thank you very much.